Hi, I'm Barb, and I'm going to show you how to make these adorable turkey placeholders for your Thanksgiving tables. You could also remove the name off of them and turn them into napkin holders if you wanted to, but they're easy to make and I'm going to show you how. These two papers are the papers we're going to use to make our turkey. They're both from the Quick Quotes Happiness collection. I love the bright colors on them. They're bright but in a fall kind of way, so they work really well. And the teardrops that are on the front of this piece of paper are what I fussy cut for the front of the turkey. And then if you flip this piece of paper over, this burgundy color is perfect for the body of the turkey. So that sheet of paper was used for those two parts of the turkey. And then the other happiness sheet, I love this. The blocks of color are so fun to work with. But I cut those apart to make the feathers of the turkey, and I'm going to show you how I did those in a little bit. So let's get started. For each turkey, we are going to need one strip of the burgundy paper. These are cut at 1-inch strips, and you will need to fussy cut 11 drops for the front of the turkey and one of them for the beak. So you're going to need 12 of these fussy cut for each turkey. You are going to need 3 blocks from the happiness paper like this, and that is what we use to make the feathers, and I'm going to show you how I made those. You will need 2 1.5-inch brown pieces of paper. You can use any color you want because you really aren't going to see them. I stuck with craft paper because it kind of blends and it doesn't really stand out in case some of it does get seen. And then you are also going to need 1-inch circle, and we're going to use that for the head of the turkey. 2 eyes, and I used these wood blocks. They were left over from another project. They worked for me. You could use anything you wanted, but these are just what I'm going to use to make the turkey stand up. So we're going to start with the 1-inch strip of paper. This strip of paper has already been scored, and I'm going to move it closer to, maybe you can see if it will focus in for you. I scored it at a 1/4 inch all the way down, and all you're going to do is take the paper and start to accordion fold it back and forth at each of the places where you scored it, and when you are all done you'll end up with a strip that looks like this. Now the easy part of this is you're just going to take and add a little glue to one end and make a circle with it. I just put a little glue on there, place it together. So now I have a shape that looks like this, and I'm just going to set that off and let it dry because I have something else to work on while that's drying. What I want to start with are the big circles that we're going to use for the turkey's body. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take and cover this with glue. Any glue you have will work just fine. And then we're going to layer on the turkey's body. And what I did is I put 3 of the teardrop shapes to form the bottom layer. And then after that, and I'm just randomly picking them up, they're going to kind of mix themselves up. I did 4 on the next row, and I like that only the tops are being glued down as I go up because that way it kind of gives it a little dimension. It's not laying so flat, makes it a little more fun. And you're going to do 4 feathers for the next row. And the beauty of working with glue like this is you have a little flexibility to slide them around and get them just where you want them. And of course this is harder because I'm trying to hold it up so you can see it in the camera better. And then you're going to add 4 more to the top to finish it off. When you're all done, this is what your turkey's body is going to look like. So you can see I got 3 teardrops on the bottom row, then 4, and then 4 on top. And the ones on top, I kind of pulled the tops together. You can see a little bit of the brown paper there, but that's really not a big deal because you're going to cover it up with the turkey's head. So we're going to set that aside, let it dry for a minute, move on to the next part. The next part you're going to work on are the feathers for the turkey. You're going to need 3 of them for each of the turkeys you're going to make, and these are so easy to make. Let me show you how I made mine. I took the color and I scored it right down the middle so it's long and skinny, and I'm going to fold that in half like that. And then I took my scissors and I totally freehanded this. I made it as wide at the bottom as I could get, and then I went long and skinny at the top to come up with that shape. And then I just took and did little snippets all the way down the feather. And of course not cutting through the fold. And then when you open it up, you have a feather for your turkey. All right, so you're gonna do 3 of those. And now your turkey should really be ready to assemble because you've got everything together that you need. So we're gonna start with the body. This is the back of the turkey, and I'm gonna use a hot glue gun. I just find that the hot glue gun dries a lot faster and I don't have to hold things and wait for it to dry and slide around. I'm gonna put a big dab of glue on the front of that. And I just take and set that accordion folded paper over the top, and I'm gonna smash it down and squeeze it in and hold it for a second and let it dry. Now that that glue is set, I'm gonna take the body that I made and I'm gonna also do hot glue on this. I'm keeping it more towards the center and leaving the edges open because that is where I'm gonna wedge in the name on the name card, so I don't wanna glue all the way to the edges. And I'm gonna center that right on top of the body. So we're starting to build up the turkey a little bit. Next, we need a head for our turkey. Just take one of the small ones. I put a dab of glue on the back. Got the glue on there. And I'm gonna lay that right on top. So you can see our turkey starting to take shape. Now I'm gonna go back, and I told you that you needed 12 of these, 11 for the body and 1 for the beak. And let me show you how I did the beak. I cut off the top part, the rounded part, which left the pointy part. And I flipped it over so I had the burgundy side, and I bent it right in the middle, which is really going to be right down the line on the opposite side. So once you have the beak made, all I do is I put a little bit of the hot glue on the back and I just kind of dab it on there. And then I am going to put it on the face where I want it. Just like that. On my other one, I actually did it off center so I could have my head tilt. I thought that was cute. And then you add the eyes. So now I have the eyes and the beak on. It's time to put on some tail feathers. And I just picked out 3 different colors. I just don't want them all the same color. I'm gonna put some glue on the front of each of the feathers. And I'm going to attach them to the back so that they stand up over the turkey's head. And now if you're going to use it as a napkin ring holder, you could cut a strip of paper and, you know, attach that to the back and use that. I am going to use mine as place card holders. So I have these wood blocks I was telling you about. All I did was add a dab of glue to the top, and I attached it to the back. Now what you want to make sure you do is that you set your turkey up and make sure it's balanced as that glue's drying. And I know you're at a difficult angle there, but that way the hot glue goes right into the folds on the back and makes it so that that stays on. But you want to make sure it's standing when you do that so that you don't get them all glued on and then set them up and it doesn't want to stand up. So that's the back of it. Here's the front of it. And to turn it into a name card, the easiest way, honestly, to do this was I cut a little banner, put a name on it, and if we wedge it between the body and that the feathers here in the front, it sticks in there nice, it stays balanced, and it sits up on the table, and your turkey is all done. See how quick and easy those are? Have a great Thanksgiving.